Before I lay me down, let's get this off my chest first. Excerpt of my life, I call it my next verse. I'm stressed, keep it in perspective, I'm an expert about this Northwest way of life. Hey, it could end worse.
Welcome in, everyone. This is episode number 11 of UpLeft State of Mind, the podcast where it's okay to not be okay. This is the show that unpacks the pressure, the pain, and the process, from mental health struggles to finding your identity, the healing process, and even ways that we can grow as individuals. There's no filters, there's no fluff. It's just raw conversations with people who are learning how to hold everything or how to let it all go. I'm your host, Rizzle, and whether you're tuned in from somewhere inside the beautiful Pacific Northwest or anywhere else, this is your safe space. It's a place to breathe, and it's a place to remember it's okay to not be okay. Today's episode is brought to you by Seamless Electrical Solutions. Whether it's wiring, repairs, or full electrical work, Seamless has you covered with quality done right. As a master electrician in Massachusetts, they're committed to keeping your home and business running strong. We're honored to partner with the company that values community and believes in supporting open conversations about mental health. Learn more at seamlesselectricalsolutions.com. Now, let's get into it. As we do every episode, I like to do a self-check, make sure I'm doing all right. I'm doing okay. I'm feeling super excited about my vacation rafting trip this weekend. That's always really fun. It's a cool thing, cool chance to get away and just relax, unplug for a few days. That's cool. Work is super busy though. We got 2 4-day weeks. We got to cram 5 days worth of work into 4 days, 2 weeks in a row. So that kind of sucks. It's heavy, but it's worth it. Really, other than that, like everything's cool, man. Everything else in the personal life is good. Yeah. Sorry, I was reading a comment. Andrew says, and tell them that Steve sent you. Yeah, man. Shouts out to Seamless Electrical Solutions. Partner of the show, sponsor of the show. Yeah, but everything's good. Self-check. Everything's cool, The podcast is really keeping me going right now. It's great to get the feedback and get the love from everyone that this is like something that's really making a difference and doing some good. Because that's what we're doing. That's all I'm trying to do, But without further ado, let's bring on today's guest. We have Poverty's Posterboy on today, and it's going to be a really good conversation. So let's bring him on and get it started. Hey, man. How we doing?
Yo, what's up? Good. How are you?
Good. Thank you so much for coming on, man.
Oh, thanks for having me.
Yeah, dude. So why don't you just tell everyone like just a little bit about yourself? Little basic background.
Basic background is, I'm a father, business owner of multiple outlets, MC, make my own beats, do all my own production and stuff like that for the most part. Book shows, do all kinds of stuff. I actually have a lot of avenues that I work on. And I also am a mental health advocate. So
awesome.
Perfect opportunity.
Yeah. Cool, man. So tell us a bit about your events and stuff. What do you got going on with that?
Well, the next event I'm throwing is Dizzy Right, and you're coming to host. So yeah, I can't wait for that. That's going to be a beautiful one. I'm currently on tour with Riff Raff. So we took like a month hiatus mid-tour.
Okay.
We're regrouping next week in Vegas, and then we got 3 Washington shows, 2 Colorado shows, some Utah shows that aren't really fully announced yet, as far as I can tell. But I know there's a Salt Lake and a St. George or something like that. Next week or this weekend though, Friday, I'm gonna be performing at the Tiki Lounge for the king of the mic
Yes.
event, which I hope to see you in the finals. That would be a blessing.
Yeah,
So
man. So
yeah,
yours is this Friday?
yeah, it's Friday. Yeah.
Okay. Cool. Yeah, I was gonna come out. Actually, he wanted me to be originally. I was like, dude, I can do it, but I can't do it on the 5th. Because it's my company like annual like rafting trip. So I'm gonna be gone this weekend. I'll be there Friday morning, or else I would totally be there to check it out Friday night. But yeah,
Right. Yeah, and it's the first one, so I'm kind of like I'm kind of nervous because like for one, I mean I haven't done a competition in like, a dozen years and
uh-huh.
for two, like I mean, it could go either way. I don't even know my competitor. I don't know nothing
Right.
about him. The good thing is it's not like a battle rap. Like I don't have to sit there and diss somebody because that's not my style.
Same.
But I get to go out there and just show out and you know um my social media all got hacked and taken down over the last like 72 hours or something, so my promotion is kind of in the toilet for a minute, but
Yeah.
it's all good. I'm rebuilding, I've kind of moved my platforms around a little bit, so we'll see what goes
Nice.
on.
Nice. So you got a lot going on. Does that get stressful? Does that get heavy for you at all?
I mean, yeah, but to me, like, stress is avoidable by doing other things to fulfill your wants and needs. So
Mhm.
if I didn't want to do these things, I wouldn't need to per se, if that makes sense. So
Yeah.
I do the things that I enjoy. Running a construction company is a little hard at times.
Mhm.
We got to beat production dates. That's probably the most stressful thing in my life. Dealing with the city is not very fun as far as the restaurant goes.
Yeah.
But as far as like the performances and all that stuff, like it's that's what makes it all worth it to me in the end is
Oh yeah.
having that outlet, having that channel.
Yep. Yeah, and I've talked about it on the show before, like any stress that comes from a decision that you like deliberately made it's just there to help you, like you're choosing to fill your plate like that. So any stress that you have from being overwhelmed like that or having all that to do, like that's just there building you up and helping you to be able to handle that better next time, like that's kind of how I look at it.
Right.
Yeah.
And I kind of been working like 100-hour weeks for 20 years, whether it been like when I was managing a subway and I was doing touring and rapping and all that, I was probably putting in about 100 hours a week on that. And
Yeah.
then so fast forward to this, if I'm juggling my time right, I'm still about 100 hours a week. So it's just filling the time that, I'm put on earth to do things anyway. So I might as well try to do things that are meaningful and try to build things for the future, whether it's for myself or for my offspring or their offspring, so.
Yep. Yep, exactly. That's beautiful. Do you you talked about outlets. What are some of your outlets that you have to help keep that emotion in check and those feelings?
Well, the good thing about being in construction is there's always demo days. So
Yeah.
you know what I'm saying? So
Yep.
if
Yep.
you got somebody online talking smack, or you got like, you got beef at home or something like that, you're battling a demon that nobody knows about,
Hmm.
I could take it out on like a little bit of demo. Or
Yeah.
I write a lot that, but I try to always be positive,
Hmm.
so another weird little outlet that I found over the last, 2 years was like Fortnite, because I can just get
Yeah.
on there and just kind of just waste some time. I don't really get a kickback much, but when I do, I don't really watch TV or movies or none of that. So throw a controller in my hand, play a couple little matches, and then call it a day. It's a good end of
Yeah.
the day type of thing.
Oh yeah. I play Call of Duty religiously. Uh not as much lately, I'm real busy, but dude, yeah, I totally get that. You get on there, jump on the game, you just disconnect from everything else and you just kind of unwind and you shoot some stuff and
Right. Well, and
yeah.
I started like so the Fortnite thing because I've been playing games since Mario Brothers.
Yeah.
But I jumped on the Fortnite because I have a 10-year-old and
Hmm.
I was trying to connect with him, and so after about a 6-month period of playing with him, he don't play no more. He don't like it, and I thought it was pretty cool, so I just stuck with it.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah.
We'll throw up some
Uh,
squads and stuff like that with some of the homies that I've made through music. I'll be playing with dudes that I met in like Reno or back east, and we'll just game together. And
mhm.
Fortnite, it's just easy. It's not like
Yeah.
it takes a lot of thought.
Yeah.
So
Yeah. Yeah. I jumped on Fortnite and played with my kid. I got a 12-year-old. And so and he thinks it's funny to like build me into like a little box when storms come
yeah,
in and then leave me
yeah,
back there and then I die and then he just is laughing, so like that's cool. But
yeah.
uh
The kids love the build mode. I can't figure it out. I
nah,
was
I don't
like,
like
nah,
it.
man. Nobody's ever breaking out blueprints in the middle of a war. I'm just letting you know
Nah,
that right
bro.
now.
Nah, throw me into some no build on Fortnite, I'll be all right. But
Yeah, that's it. I actually play the Blitz because it's like 30 people and it's super quick. It's
okay.
like
Yep.
5-minute
Yeah.
matches. You don't take a lot of time
Nice.
because we don't have a lot of time, right?
No. Nope. We got to get in, get out. We got a lot of stuff to do.
Right.
Yep. Let's see here. Shouts out to everyone over on Facebook. If you guys are watching on Facebook or if you're watching on my Twitch, come over to the YouTube. We don't bite over here. Hit that sub button, hit that like button, all that good stuff. We're happy to have you over here. Let's see here. We'll give a quick shout out to the next episode. My next guest actually is this Saturday. I have an episode tomorrow, solo episode. 7 o'clock, I believe. But my guest this Saturday is Danielle Byro. That's going to be a good episode. Yes. Yeah. Oh.
She's a legend.
Dude, it's going to be great. I cannot wait for that conversation.
I sold her the turntables.
Yeah.
They were out of my studio. I sold her the turntables out of the studio.
Nice. People helping people in the chat. Wish I could stick around for the show. About to go live, but I'll double back and watch. Yeah. So if you guys don't know about people helping people, Alexander J is over there doing a podcast and he is giving people their flowers. He's shining light on all walks of life. And it's really a great thing that they're doing. So go over there and check them out when you get a chance. But so we talked about outlets. You talked about writing a little bit. Do you just journal do you just like write music or do you journal at all? Or do you do any other forms of writing or?
I used to. I just don't find the time that kind of stuff no more. I've often thought about jumping back into it because I used to journal like when I was young through my high school years and stuff like that. And, I mean, it was kind of mandatory to do that back then. But,
Yeah.
I grew up in like kind of sticky situations, group homes and stuff like that, foster homes. And so like that was like part of the protocol for that situation was journaling. And it almost brings back like so I really only write music, and anymore it's just writing on the phone, man. It's a completely different world.
Yeah.
Switching to digital is crazy. So I mean,
Yeah.
we grew up recording on an 8-track, so and then now it's like okay.
Yeah. Yep.
I remember
Having
the
the
first time I stepped into a
the
digital
spiral
studio and
notebook
they were
and
like,
yeah.
"What's up?" Sorry, bro, I cut you off.
Oh, no. I was just saying I used to be out there with the big ass spiral notebook and the pen and
Yeah, I still got
not
all my
anymore.
spiral notebooks, but man, yeah, that writing until you got writer cramp. Now you can just talk to text it, like,
Yeah.
fix it.
Yeah.
These kids be writing it with AI though. That's cheating.
Yeah, I don't like it. I mean, I love AI. I love using AI, not for music. It should not be
Right,
used for
right.
music. It should not be used for art. None of that stuff. Yeah.
I mean, I'm guilty of throwing up some single covers with AI real quick, but I
Oh
mean, you still got to know what to. You got to still prompt it. You know, it's not
no, I'm
like
talking
you
about
just
just
pick a
creating
picture.
music. Yeah, dude.
Right.
I don't create my own graphics anymore. What are you talking about? I mean, shouts out to all the
Hell yeah.
graphics designers out there. You know,
Yeah.
we'll still use them when I need to, but yeah.
Shouts out to
Chat
George.
GPT's dope. Yeah, George Valdez, what's up? Hell yeah. Before we get into the next question, shouts out to Mill Dog in the chat. He says, "What's good, my brother? People helping people, all love." Yeah, Millie. So talking about people we play video games with on the internet. Met this guy online during COVID quarantine, and man, there's a group of probably 20 of us or 15 of us, you know, and we just got real tight and played Call of Duty through the years. And yeah, it's good people for sure. So what's your mental health journey looked like? Like mine is like, you know,
Man,
depression, anxiety, you know,
it's a
panic
mess, bro.
disorder. Yeah. Okay.
You know, to be honest, it's a mess. You know, I've done it all, like anxiety, ADHD, you know, panic attacks, you know,
Mm-hmm.
suicidal tendencies and thoughts and like all that, you know.
Mm-hmm.
We're all human, bro, and we're all wired, you know. And when things make the wires cross, you know, it makes you kind of think different. Um, you know, I've been diagnosed with depression, ADHD, anxiety, you know, and then like some bipolar type stuff. So that's why I try to really keep everything on the positive note, because you can't,
Yep.
because then I start battling myself, you know, and I'm my
Oh yeah.
biggest critic, I'm my worst fan, you know. So um you know, I don't think that someone in my shoes, like, because I do a lot of advocating for mental health for other folks, so usually I don't really speak about what goes on in my life, you know. Usually I'm
Right.
soaking up their life, and
Yep.
so, you know, like, not saying that I don't have it, because I fully do, but you know, usually I just try to avoid that conversation and try to help
Yeah.
focus on other folks, you know.
Right. Right. Man, so you said panic attacks. that's been a, like, I don't know the word you would maybe I don't know if catalyst is the right word. It's been such a major part in how I have lived my life and the way I go about my life. I just how much, like, do they do you have like straight up panic disorder, or you just have panic attacks like a few times, or
You know, I've never been like diagnosed with any panic attacks, but I'm gonna
yeah.
keep it a buck with you. Whenever, like, I didn't really realize what was going on with me. I always just thought I had like a heart palpitation or some weird thing
Mm,
going on with my
okay.
chest, right? Because like when like the anxiety gets crazy, and I didn't even believe in anxiety. I'm gonna be honest with that too, until, you know, maybe 10 years ago. And then like I actually went, like, it would drop me, bro. Like, you know, like all of a sudden
Yeah.
a panic attack, like I'm full panic, can't breathe, dying, sweating,
Yeah.
feel like I'm choking, like tears running down my eyes, and
Mm-hmm.
like my head pounding like a drum. And I would go to the ER because I thought I
Yep.
was having like a heart attack or like a stroke, or I didn't know what was going on with me. And they would hook me to their EKG, they would rush me in, boom, hook me to
Yeah.
EKGs,
Yeah.
hook me to the CAT scan, do all this crap, poke, prod, pinch, pull, and like, yeah, nothing's going on, bro. You know what I'm saying? And so it took me. I ended up getting a doctor that was from the military, so he was a military grade doctor, and he found all kinds of thing that anybody else had found.
Right.
Not right now. Yeah. Sorry, kids, bro, kids. I'm a dad,
Oh
you
yeah.
know,
It's
at
all
night.
good.
So
Full
after work,
time,
that's
bro.
what happens.
24
I'm
hours a
dad.
day.
I'm dad tone. Yep.
Yep.
So
Yep.
but you know, so when I met this doctor, he actually genuinely cared. So my doctor prior to that, I was on like Oregon Health Plan, didn't pay for insurance. So they kind of just treat you like a number. They like, oh, mental health, it's fake. Like I had a doctor that didn't believe in celiac disease and Crohn's and all this crap, right? Like, and like I have Crohn's
You're
and
like,
I have
bro.
celiac. Yeah. So like, but I could never get diagnosed with nothing because like, he would just discredit everything when I walked through the door, and he was like, oh, you're just in here to get pills. And I'm like, bro, like the last thing I want is meds. Like that's literally the last thing I want. But I want to know
Like,
what's wrong with
I
me,
want to be comfortable. I want to live better,
Yeah,
like,
I don't want to think that people around the corner are freaking like the homies at work are talking about me, bro, because like I'm trying to square up after work and it
yeah,
was crazy, bro. And it's like,
yeah.
a lot of that, whether some of it was real or some of it was fake or it was in my head or it was in my face, like all of that builds up, bro, and it starts wearing on you and like
Mhm.
it starts making you compact. It makes your chest hurt, it makes your head hurt, it makes, and so it started throwing me into these spirals. Well, I get this new doctor, and he instantly is like, "Look, you need to talk to a counselor."
Yeah.
And I've always been against counseling. Like, I always said, I didn't have parents growing up, really, so I don't really need one as an adult.
Hmm.
And that's kind of like, I don't want to sit on a couch and spill my life story to somebody. That's where I was at for a lot of years. Well, I met this lady and she like genuinely cared. She
Yep.
always talked to me like with her feelings on her sleeve, and at this point in time I'm actually paying for insurance and had really good insurance, and like,
Hmm.
so it wasn't like I was feeling like I was getting treated like a number anymore. I was getting treated like somebody that might have needed help. And so they found all these things wrong with me at the same time, the Crohn's, the ADD, all
Yeah.
this stuff. And but I always rejected meds, always. So about a year ago they put me on a really, really, really heavy dosage of meds because like I was going through a lot of
Uh-huh.
stuff. I had a lot of suicidal thoughts and like actual like motives to actually fulfill suicide.
Hmm.
And luckily I never actually went through with that, and I had people in
Yeah.
my corner that genuinely cared, and they would call me up and like make sure I was good. And but what I did at that point, bro, is honest. So they gave me a bunch of meds, but I just put more on my plate, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
Because as a man, you always are needed, right? You're always needed. You're needed to pay the bills. You're needed to supply shelter. You're needed to be the voice of reason. You're needed to be the man of the house, right? Like that's
Yep.
just what a man is never really wanted, right? And so I started doing things that made me feel wanted, and not
Yep.
running from the cops. I mean, that's a whole different kind of want. But like when I started throwing shows again, it made me feel wanted. It made me feel important because I'm always gonna be needed. But
Right.
I needed to feel important. That's what I needed. I needed to feel important. I needed to feel wanted by my peers and by my successors and everybody that
Yep.
was around me. My family. I like. I get that I get that you need me. I want to feel needed too, but I needed to feel wanted. And so like
Oh yeah.
what I did is I put more on my plate than I could ever handle, bro. And I was working at the time. I would wake up, I would stay at the house that I was working on, right? And I was working from like 6 a.m. when the sun come up, when I could finally start making a little bit of noise without pissing too many people off, and we will work till like 2 in the morning. You know what I'm saying? And
Yeah.
so we would be getting like 4 hours of sleep. And I was driving to Astoria because that's where my work was. And
Yeah.
so like, and at the time we're building the restaurant. So like, and I started doing show booking and all this. And so what I did is I just sacrificed all my time and tried to make it so I could accomplish want, if that makes
Hmm.
sense. So,
Hmm.
that and then everything else is kind of where it's at, you know. Like, I mean, they still prescribe me like a super high dosage of medicine. I try not to take it, you know, because I don't
Mm-hmm.
like the way out of body it makes me feel. I don't like feeling like, you know, like a, you know, or some type
Yep.
of way, you know, like they're not happy pills for me. Now I'm not discrediting medication for everybody, because medication is important for a lot of folks. You know, my
Right.
trust for big pharma is small, but like, you know, a lot of people do need like their Ritalin or their, you know, their antipsychotic meds or like whatever the case may be. To
Yep.
me, I've just never tried to be a guy that wanted something every day to like, I just tried to
Mhm.
film for my time, you know, like I just tried to that. So like, you know, I'm kind of built different than most folks, but I mean, everybody's built different, right?
Yeah. Yeah. Everybody's different. And that's cool, man. I wish I could not take a pill every day. I tried, and man, it just didn't work for me. You know, and I always just ended up multiple times, and I've always just ended up back on the same medication. You know, and so you know,
Yeah.
and everyone is different, and everyone it's just about finding what works for you. And I mean, you just filled your time. So I think that's a normal thing to feel wanted, especially coming from somebody who has created for so long. You know,
Right.
you've put out music for so many years, and then to be away from it, you know,
Yeah,
uh,
there's that. I did step away 7 years, no music, no
yeah,
concerts, no studio time, no writing, no beat making, no
uh huh,
late night sessions, nothing.
yeah,
So, you know, I went from full time doing that to nothing and then back to pretty much full time doing that. So,
yeah. And so your mental needed that outlet again. You know, like I feel it
right.
too. I feel it too. I came back. You know, I take breaks from music periodically, and then I come back, and then I'm doing shows all summer, and you know, all this stuff, and it feels so much better. I feel like I have a purpose. I mean, I already feel like I have a purpose. Like you just said it. You know, you feel you're needed, but I want to feel wanted too. You know, it's a good feeling to feel wanted, um,
Right.
for sure.
Right. That's the
Uh,
hardest thing to feel as a dude too, because like, you
yeah.
know, like, because like the woman in the life is the one that's wanted, right? Like the dude craves her attention. That's just
Yep.
like, it's just the natural uh way of things, right? Even
Uh
I
huh.
mean, even probably I would say every woman in a relationship is wanted by her partner.
Yep.
Very rarely is it the other way around, you know. I mean, I see
Yeah.
some of it like on Facebook when the girls like posting the dude like 1,000 times a week, and like that's cool, but it's rare, you know. Like normally women just kind of just do they're motherly. They do things a lot different than men,
Yep. Yep.
you know. And I mean, I know that this if we're living in a different world where there's a lot of gender fluidity and stuff like that, and so I'm not trying to take away from that at all,
Mm-hmm.
just so we're clear, you
Yeah.
know. I do
Yeah. No.
understand that
Totally.
and I recognize that, but you know, as far as my relationships in my whole life have gone, it just seems like, you know, like the dude is there to do all the dude stuff, you know, to supply, to pay
Mm-hmm.
the bills, to provide, to, you know, to make everybody feel secure, and the women are there to like, you know, help the man through that situation.
Yep. Nurture. Yeah. For sure.
I just seen Kenny say what's
Uh,
up. So what up,
I
Kenny?
was just gonna say, Kenny Johnson. What up, John and Riz? What up, Kenny?
I
How you
didn't
doing,
block
man?
you,
Thank
bro.
you
I
for
got
being here.
deleted. I got deleted, bro.
That sucks, man.
It's
Um,
okay. It gives me a chance to restart. I was already maxed out, and you know, I was to a point where I'm having to delete people to add people anyways, and so, you
yeah.
know, this might be a good refocus. I'm gonna miss the instant promotion I had, you know, because like when you already have a 20,000 to 80,000 people on your Facebook, it was super easy just to put something out there in the air and get it swirled up. But now,
Yep.
like, I'm gonna hit it like the old guerrilla tactics like we used to use, you know, when we first started, where we actually had to actually go out and do work, you know, like put posters
Yeah.
up and hand out
Yep.
handbills and stuff like that, you know.
Yeah. Um, man, that the footwork, putting in the footwork.
Yeah,
So something that I like to do every episode with a guest is I like to ask them to take us through a a darker moment of their life, and not to rehash things, not to stir up
Yeah.
stuff, just a brief just a chance to set the stage so that we can possibly help somebody out
Right.
that's
So
watching right now,
I'll give
or
a really great example of this because I could probably take you to my darkest moments. So, um, I was having troubles at home.
Mhm.
Everybody does, you know. Marriages are very hard. They're never an easy thing. If they're easy, then they're not real to me. You know, like you got to work hard at everything you do. So, going through a really dark time at home. Uh, I was working in Astoria, like I said. I was burying myself in work. I had just got diagnosed with a bunch of extra things. I hurt myself really bad, my back. I actually still need a surgery on it. Herniated my L5, and then also the same week I tore my rotator cuff. So I actually need two pretty big surgeries right now.
yeah.
But I'm putting them off because for the greater good, right? Because
Hmm.
what good am I sitting around for a year? Not very good. But
Right.
so I was going through these dark times. Uh, I was working on this project in Astoria where I was actually losing money every day we were on the job because, underbidding and then dealing with a bunch of things with my company. My supervisor that I had hired had did a bunch of dirty shit and he actually stole like $80,000 worth of tools from me. And I kind of grew up with like the hood politics where you don't like get anybody involved in it. You just
Right.
handle shit on your own.
Yeah.
Um, and and he was also family, so I kind of just um it created like a whirlwind of trouble, right? And at the same time, every penny I was getting, I was dumping into the restaurant.
Yeah.
So I remember I was driving home from Astoria, and I don't know how to explain it other than like a cloud covered me, right? I was driving. I remember driving, and just like all of a sudden, like a haze covered me, bro, and it was like I could throw this truck completely off this cliff right now. They wouldn't even find me for a month, probably. You know
Yeah.
what I'm saying? And and it wouldn't even affect anybody, right? That's the thought process, So it's like,
Right.
like what do I got to lose? I've already lost everything, right? Um, and then I'm looking and I'm pulling up my life insurance and I'm saying like, shit, 2.5 milli life insurance. Like my kids, my wife, they would be set. The house would be paid for. They would have their colleges paid for. That's the
Yeah.
thought
Yeah.
process when you
Yeah.
got this dark cloud over your head. You know what I'm
Uh-huh.
saying? And I made it from Astoria to about Longview, so an hour and a half. And I'm talking like, bro, like riding the guardrail, doing like 130,
Hmm.
like in my truck, like getting kind of squirrely, like passing people on the shoulder, like doing stupid
Yeah.
shit, like
Yeah.
literally being stupid. And but like I wasn't in the right spot, and I should have not been driving. So I pulled over in Longview, and I had a homegirl call me. I'm not gonna drop no names or nothing like that because she was kind of going through her own demons at the time, and like she hit me up, with her problems, and it took. I pulled over. I listened to her problems for about 45 minutes. I talked her basically off a bridge. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying?
Yeah.
Because she was like, you got her kids taken by DHS and all this, got back into drugs, whoop whoop, all this stuff, right? And I'm like,
While you're
I,
on
I,
your
I
own
literally,
bridge.
yeah, yeah. So I literally talked her off of this trip without even disclosing my own stuff, right? Because
Yeah.
I didn't.
Yeah.
I'm pretty quiet about things, you know. Like I said, being like an advocate for mental health, like I be doing mental health check-ins all the time, and like, you know, so like I didn't feel like I should be talking about me. Like, let's talk about you. And
Right.
so, you know, I talked about that with her, and so, and I was by myself, by the way, when I was driving. My crew was in Astoria. I was driving back for a chiropractic visit because I was going through the herniated disc, right? So I called my doctor and my chiropractor, and I'm like, "Look, dude, I ain't coming in today. I'm not gonna make it." And I turned my butt around and I drove back to Astoria. And well, I got lunch first. That really probably helped too. And
Yeah.
then when I got to Astoria, I worked all night. I worked all day the next day. I think it was like a Wednesday, you know. So we worked all the
Hmm.
way till like Friday morning, and then I drove with my crew back because then I'm not making decisions for a bunch of people. You know, I'm not. I would be making like before. I was making a decision for myself. Well, myself and like the people that are surrounding me, right? But
Right.
when I had other people in my rig, I had to make safer decisions because like I can't put homeboy's family on the line because of my shit, you know, and
Right.
so you know, I think that was probably the best decision I ever made in my life was turning around because I don't know that I would have made it home, bro. And that's like that's just facts. Like that's just the way that worked, you know, and like I'm not saying that cloud like lifted up like it was still there for you know a good 6 months you know
Right.
through you know 700 to 1,000 milligrams of Wellbutrin a day you know through like all this extra schizophrenia pills and like you know
Hmm.
psyche valves and like um to be honest bro I walked in my doctor's office and they said are you having or have you ever had suicidal thoughts and I said, hasn't everybody? And the lady like literally locked it. She like looked at me, walked out of the room, and locked me in the room, bro. And then they came back with like a whole panel of doctors. And
Yeah.
like I wasn't like I didn't mean it like I'm gonna just up and kill myself right now, but I meant it like
Right.
like we're all human. We've all had to at least think like the world's probably a better place without me at least once, right? And that's all I really meant by that. And you know that whole interaction changed that cloud on me, bro. And it,
Hmm.
you know, and then to be honest, I probably had it on me all the way till so I celebrated 20 years of sobriety with Kalichi in March, and
Okay.
that was when I performed again. So my my littles, my 7-year old and my 10-year old had never seen me perform before. Um, I don't remember if you remember the A-frame, but my
Uh huh.
older kids, we had them at the A-frame, and there was a shooting at the A-frame when we were there, and so like my kids were never allowed to be around music
Yeah. Okay.
after that.
Right.
And so my littles, they had never been to a show. They had never. I mean, they've been to like some big concerts, like you know, 21 Pilots at Moda Center, stuff like that. But
Yeah.
so we brought them. So I brought them to watch me, and the joy on their face was crazy, bro. So it just it that single-handedly like made me realize like you know maybe I need music and maybe music needs me, you know, like you know I'm not claiming to be the best. I'm not even claiming to be the best at my style or genre of music, but it makes me feel some type of way if you know when you're on stage, you know this. So when you're on stage and you got people video recording you, cheering, clapping for you, singing your songs. It's like such a euphoric thing. It's like it's the best feeling in the world. It's better than drugs. It's better than smoking weed. It's better than, you know. So
Yeah.
when they would took that feeling again to make me be like, you know, maybe I need to do this. Maybe this was something different. And you know, I'm not like a huge religious person or nothing like that, but like I something drew all my drew my world together, right?
Yeah.
Um and yeah, I mean, you know, so now we're doing like it, I'm on the road, you know, I'm doing
Uh
shit
huh.
um and I thank that moment for that because like without that moment, you know, I don't know where I would be, bro. And You know, big shouts out to
one phone call. That one phone
that
call.
one
That
phone call. That one phone call, you know, probably saved. It could have saved multiple folks' lives. You know what I'm saying? Because it probably saved her life, and it definitely saved mine. You know,
well, and
so
it says so much about your character, and the type of person that you are. To just, I mean, you were rock, but you were checked out, you know, and then to just have you be like, hold up, this person fucking needs me too, dude. Like, hold on a second, I'm gonna put
yeah.
what I'm, you know, and then, dude, that's just it's just says so much, man. It speaks volumes.
And I mean, that's just the reality of it, though. Like that's what triggered me. You know, it was like, wait a minute, like I was put here to do something. You know, like
Mhm.
whether it be hip hop, construction, flipping burgers, whatever the case may be, bro. I was put here to do something,
Yeah,
and what I was doing at that moment wasn't it. You know, that was not lit. So
yeah,
I'm glad I turned my truck around. You know, big shouts out to the homegirl. I'm not, like I said, I'm not gonna put her name in this, but big
yep.
shouts out to her. I hope she tunes in and watches this because she had no idea that, you know, I'm talking tears are streaming down my face, bro, and I'm hyperventilating and I'm listening and I'm taking
Yeah.
in everything and I'm trying my best to, you know, you fake it till I make it per se. You know what I'm saying? Like try to get through this conversation and realize like shit, I ain't the only one having a hard time. You know, everybody's
No.
probably having a hard time.
Yep.
And
Yep.
so, but yeah, dude, like that,
Did she
it's
know? Did
weird.
she know that you were going through stuff? Right.
Nah,
That like
nah,
no. Okay.
nah. Nobody did
Yeah.
till just now.
Yeah.
I mean, my wife
That's
did, you know what I'm saying? Cause like I
right.
call, like she called me and checked on me and I'm like, yo, I'm about to crash into this tree, you know? And she's like, shut the
Hmm.
f up, you know? And I'm
Yeah.
like, dude, don't tempt me. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? Like,
Yeah. Yeah. Um. Well, I'm glad that things worked out the way that they did, for sure.
yeah.
Uh.
Same, bro.
So
Same. Because I mean, the world's a better
yeah.
place with us all in it. Every
Oh,
one of us. The
absolutely.
world's a better place with
Absolutely.
us all in it. You know, we're all put here
Yep.
for some kind of puzzle piece in this planet, and like, you just got to fit. You got to get in where you fit in. You know, like you got to figure
Hmm.
out what it is that you're gonna succeed at, because you're wanted in that position. You know, we're
Yep.
going back full scale and going back to the you're wanted. You know, like
Yep.
you know, like you may be needed as a rapper, bro, but you're really wanted to do this podcast because like you're touching lives that, you know, all across the country, you know, or maybe even further. I don't know where your viewers are coming from, but you know, like you're touching lives that you don't even know.
Yep. Well, and
And with
that's
that
the
being said,
hopes,
if
man.
anybody needs to talk to somebody in a crisis, don't ever hesitate to hit me up.
Oh,
You know,
absolutely. Yep.
you can always, my line's always open for somebody in crisis. Even if they're
Hmm.
just, even if it's something petty in your brain, my line's 100% open, and I will never. I'll take a call at 1 in the morning, 5 in the morning, noon. I don't care.
Yep. Uh, yeah, I've talked about that recently. I'm actually like I haven't had my phone. I haven't had the ringer on in years, and I turned my ringer on because I have a friend that's going through some stuff, and he like reached out and said, "Hey, can I call you if I am in crisis, you know, and need somebody?" And I said, "Fucking absolutely, dude." And so like
Absolutely.
there's no shame in needing to have someone there, you know. So
And
yeah, like
I want to kind of cover on that a little bit more too. Like, you don't have to be my friend. You
oh
could be
right.
my enemy. You could be my mortal enemy. And if you're going through a crisis and you need somebody to talk to that's not judgmental, not going to use it against you, not going to blast you on the internet or air out your drama, I'm always your man because I'm gonna soak it in. And you know, I might use you as like a life experience, but I'm never gonna put you on blast. You know, so like, and that's just, you know, that's the way it should be, bro. There needs to be more people out there that are reachable in the because like the suicide helpline and all that, that ain't real, bro. I mean, it is, but it ain't like, you know, you're not talking to somebody that is probably going through something too, you know?
Right. Right.
'Cause I think that's a big difference,
Yeah.
personally.
Yeah.
I'm not dogging that line either. I'm just saying that like those dudes are usually paid, never been. I mean, they probably have a completely different lifestyle. You know, like
Right.
we grew up a little bit different. You know, a little bit more thuggish, and like there's different guidelines for our life compared to somebody that's just answering a helpline.
Yeah. It's important to
But it's
find
there if you need it.
somebody. It's important to find somebody that you can feel comfortable opening up to, whether that be a stranger or
Right.
and
Real quick, I
strangers
want
are
to say, Kenny, I love you, bro. I love that you love my compassion, but I love you, bro.
Yeah, Kenny Johnson says thanks for the vulnerability, poverty. Yeah, man, it's great. I really do appreciate you coming on and opening up, man. It's
Yeah, no
it's
problem,
such a
dog.
it's such a pleasure for me to, like, you don't get to ask, I don't get to ask these questions to people in passing and stuff, and so for me to have this show and to be able to get people to come on and like trust me enough to open up and be vulnerable and stuff, just in hopes to help other people, it's a it's a it's a unique feeling.
Yeah.
What
Kudos to you for doing this show, because, like,
I
like I said, you're
appreciate it.
helping folks. You're helping them.
Yeah, I
I love
appreciate
that.
it. So we talked about some trauma. We talked about some tools to get through the trauma. I want to shine the light on some triumphs a little bit too. What would you say is one of your proudest moments in life?
Bro, oh, there's so many. Being a dad, being a grandpa.
Mm-hmm.
I got 3 grandchildren. That's proud as hell. I mean, event wise, like I got a crowd surf at the MGK show whenever I got to open for him when he was still on his come up. Uh, these dudes like in the industry hitting me up, like Yellow Wolf
Yeah.
hitting me up, calling me and giving me free VIP to his show, or MGK sending me an autographed album, like without having to pay for anything. Like,
Mm-hmm.
not that I wouldn't pay it anyways, but like that speaks numbers to me, bro. Like
Yeah.
from like just connecting with a lot of people that I've idolized, not necessarily idolized, but fanned on. You know what I'm saying? Because like
Mm-hmm.
I don't really try to idolize anybody or anything, but like you grow up on like, Brother Lynch, and like I can like literally call him and have a conversation with him, or like when I called Jelly Roll, for instance, bro, like he's world renowned right now and he will
Yeah.
still answer my call, and
Yeah.
be like, what up, brother? Like not that I ever really do that, but those are like triumphs for sure. But I mean, what really takes the cake is the kids, bro. Like watching them
Mm-hmm.
grow and living like vicariously through them, like watching them run the ball football, or like I was telling you earlier, my 7-year-old just getting on stage and just freestyling in front of a room full of people,
Dude.
when I mean it might have been a lot of gibberish, but like just living vicariously through them is crazy, bro. And then like those are big triumphs. Also like completing like $100,000 jobs is a pretty freaking triumphant thing too, or
Mm-hmm.
whenever the steakhouse finally opens, that's going to be triumphant too,
Yeah.
I just try to build with little wins. I try not to have a big win, like this whole tour with Riff Raff has been so eye-opening and insanity that it's like that's I mean, every day is a little bit of triumph, right?
It's
Like there
crazy.
there might
Yeah.
be both. You might have a little bit of triumph and you might have a little bit of setback, but
Uh-huh.
if you could try to make the triumph outglow that setback, then I think that you're winning inside, like, another triumph is I made it home that day, like that's a
Yep.
very triumphant thing. So,
Yep.
um, like this to me is triumphant, bro, being on your podcast. So like you got to just gauge it by little wins. It's not necessarily the huge wins that win it all, but the kids take the cake. That's it. Kids and grandkids take the cake. Everything else is just a little W here and there.
Dude, kids are so cool, man. It's so amazing to see, like I've have my kids are all 21 and 20 and moved out and going to college and all this shit, but then I have a 12-year-old too, and so like
Right.
I'm doing it again one more time, and it's crazy to just to
To
see
start
them.
over.
Dude, yeah, but yeah, and just to see him like go through everything, and and learning all the stuff and going through the shit that we went through as kids, and just being able to give them
I would
shit
say
like our
also,
parents,
like,
you know,
'cause I
like,
have a 25 and a 26-year-old, right? And then I have
mhm.
two 17-year-olds, mine and hers, and then we have a 10 and a 7-year-old. And I would say, you know, gauging the differences, like the littler kids, like I feel like I'm such a better parent because like
Oh,
I've already learned a lot of mistakes doing it the first few times, right?
mhm.
So now with the grandkids, I feel like I'm probably the best grandfather. You know what I'm saying? Because
Yeah.
like I wasn't always the best father, you know, but I feel like I kill it with being a grandfather when because you know I could send them home when I'm done. No, just kidding. But
No, straight up though. Yeah.
so you know, like those are the W's though, bro. Those are
Yeah.
them.
How old are your grandkids?
Well, let's see. Eris and Mackenzie, they were born like a week apart. They're both 3, and then
Okay.
Motley, he's like 6 months or something like that.
Okay.
Something close.
Dude.
He's a little chunk. So, you know, like, and he's born on my birthday. So, like,
Nice.
he's like me reincarnated.
Yeah.
And me and my daughter haven't always seen eye to eye. We have a lot of different views and values, and like, you know, so and we weren't talking when she had him, and
Okay.
so it like forced that relationship because I had to be like,
Mhm.
haha, haha,
Yeah. Yeah.
you should name him John.
Yeah. uh, yeah, dude. I think being a dad's probably one of my proudest accomplishments for sure. And like you said, like with the younger kid, like, man, I wish I knew some of the shit that I know now. Like
Bro.
back then, I wish I could go
Well, and
back and like
technology
redo.
too.
Yeah, yeah. And it just took me a while. It took me a while to like just kind of get my shit together, you know, and figure
Right.
it out, you know.
Well,
Uh,
I raised my young kids on like Burger King. You know what I'm saying? Like I was working at Burger King or Subway, you know, and like, and then when the middle kids, I was doing like construction and like you know working in like factories and stuff like that. And then so with the younger kids, I kind of got my own thing going on. I kind
yeah.
of grown into myself, you know, like I try to be more mature now instead of like you know I always was the crazy dad and like you know now
Mhm.
I've tried to tone it down a little bit. So
Yeah. Yeah. You know, I see you on Facebook and social media, like advocating for, you know, mental health. Like I seen you mentioned like mental health check-ins. I seen you on a story or a video the other day doing that. What what does Poverty's Poster Boy advocate for? I mean, we advocate for mental health here on the show. Like, what do you advocate for?
you know I would say just doing the right thing, like being a stand up human. Like you could be whatever you want to be, right? You can be whatever you want to be, but you should always try your hardest to be just a stand up human. Like you want to be that person that makes your grandparents proud.
Yep.
That's about the easiest way to say it.
Oof, man, you said that. Oof. My grandparents have been my biggest, one of my biggest influences, like my whole life, and that's yeah, I definitely that resonates with me for sure.
Yeah, well,
Uh,
see, I never got a chance to make my grandparents proud because they all died when I was littler, right?
mhm.
And so that sits heavy with me. So I'm gonna roll it back and be like, when I was young, I stole from my grandma,
Yeah,
and I never got to tell her sorry.
mm,
And so, you know what I'm saying? So she never got to see me grow into a responsible human. Like she's seen me
yeah,
on drugs and she's seen me doing crime and like, you know, stealing and robbing and doing all this extra stuff, you know, and she never got to see me be a stand-up human. And so
yep,
like that sits heavy on me, bro. And like
yeah,
so that's what I always that's why I say like be the person your grandparents are proud of.
mm, I love that.
You
I
know?
absolutely love that, man. Um, Mill Dog says parenthood is the absolute coolest thing I've done. He says, dead ass, it's the most sacred. I happily live daily. The most scared I have, the most sacred I happily live daily. I think that's what he meant to say.
She's
Also, I'm a
scared.
girl dad. Man, it might be
Yep.
scared. I don't know. It might be scared. Also, I'm a girl
Scared
dad.
and
So
sacred.
my abrasive ass has had to learn to be calm for sure. It's tough. I've been pretty lucky with my daughters. They haven't given me too much trouble. So
Yeah, my daughters were all pretty good. The 26 and 27-year-old, or the 26 and 25-year-old, excuse me. They pretty much skated through life. Haley, my 25-year-old. So Christina got adopted when she was like 1 years old, and so I didn't really reconnect with her till she was 18.
okay.
But Haley, on the other hand, I raised her pretty much solo, just me and Melissa. Her mom was in her life a lot too, but her whole teenage years we raised her, and she was pretty hard, and but she was a 4.0 student. She excelled at life. She got a full ride scholarship for any university of her choice. She chose Portland State University and OSU as her alma maters. And, and, I couldn't be more proud of the woman she is today. Now, my
Yeah.
17-year-old, she's my stepdaughter, but I've been in her life since she was like 2. Now, she's 17, but she's on the varsity volleyball team at her school. She's in running for valedictorian, like 4.0. She just committed to UC Berkeley. So like
Yeah.
being a girl dad is special. Now my
Yeah.
boys, they're all a little bit different. But that's for
Because
a
they're
whole nother
assholes.
episode. Being a girl dad is rad though.
Yeah. Yep. Yeah, it is, man. Well, do you have anything else that you want to leave with the people before we get you out of here?
Like I just want to say, my social media all did get shut down. So I guess for right now, I found a new Instagram. It's Poverty541. You can find me on there. I'm not really into setting up a new Facebook at this point. I'm not really let the dust settle on that yet.
Yeah.
But you can find me on TikTok. Other than that, my number is readily available on the internet. You can find it really easy. I'm always there for you. If you need somebody to talk to and Riz isn't available, hit me up. I would love to hear your stories. I would way rather hear your story than read your death certificate. So just know
Mhm.
that. Um, you know, if you need help kicking drugs, if you need help stopping drinking, if you need help, anything. It doesn't just have to be mental health. I'm there for you. I do want to add, I'm not a trained professional, but I sure feel like I should be. So
Yeah, that's what I mean, I say that too. I'm not a therapist, I'm not anything. I'm just here sharing experience, just
right.
stuff that I've learned along the way.
Other than that, I just want to shout out all y'all for listening. Thank you for listening to my story. Thank you for having me on. It's been a blessing. I appreciate everything.
Yeah. All right, man. Well, you know what, dude? Thank you so much. It's been great. I appreciate you, and good luck on Friday. If you guys are
Yeah.
in Salem, go to the Tiki Lounge. What, 7 o'clock, 8 o'clock,
I think it is 7. I don't know, man.
seven
There's so
o'clock?
many shows that I get everything confused.
Yeah.
I'm just like, I have
Yep.
to look like the week of or the day of. So
Yeah.
2 more days, and I'll be competing
Yes, sir. All
competing
right,
to go
man. Well,
against Riz in the championships.
yeah, we'll see you in the finals, bro.
I can't wait, bro. I can't wait. I hope we win
Yeah.
together.
Hell yeah. Hell yeah.
Three-way win. Three-way win. We're
Yeah.
gonna trade the money for the beat and do the video.
Yep. Yep.
Let's do it. Let's
Yeah.
do it. I
Everybody that
I
makes
probably
it to
got
the
the beat.
final. Yeah.
All right. Love y'all.
All right, man. Hey, it was good to talk to you, bud.
All right, bro.
Yeah. Later.
Peace.
All right. That was a great conversation. Great conversation. Thank you guys for hanging out, sticking with it. If you're still here, if you're all over on Facebook, come to the YouTube channel, hit that sub button. We really appreciate the growth that's happening over on the YouTube channel. Like I said, I have an episode tomorrow, a solo episode. It's an impromptu episode, but we're going to talk about growth mindset versus fixed mindset. It's something that I have just recently started to learn about. And I think it relates to me so much, and I want to learn more about it, and I'm kind of going to learn more about it on the episode tomorrow. And so I would love it if you guys would stop by and learn with me. We're going to learn about growth mindset versus fixed mindset, and some ways that you can help yourself moving forward. And then Saturday, we got DJ Byro, Daniel Byro. Saturday, the 10th. No, it's not. It's Wednesday. Saturday, I am on vacation. Saturday, I'm on vacation. Wednesday, the 10th. Wednesday. I said Saturday earlier in the episode. It is Wednesday. Pretty sure that's going to be a 6 o'clock episode. One more shout out to People Helping People. If you guys are not familiar, go over to their YouTube channel, People Helping People Live. Give them a sub. Millie says, yeah. And then he says, loved it, bro. I appreciate it, man. Thank you for being here, Millie. Let's get another word from our sponsor. Today's episode is brought to you by Seamless Electrical Solutions. Whether it's wiring, repairs, or full electrical work, Seamless has you covered with quality done right. As a master electrician in Massachusetts, they're committed to keeping your home and business running strong. We're honored to partner with a company that values community and believes in supporting open conversations about mental health. Learn more at seamlesselectricalsolutions.com. So happy to have a sponsor for this show that just believes in what we're doing. Really appreciate it, man. Shouts out to Seamless Electrical Solutions. Shouts out to you guys. Yeah, my give back is next Friday, next Sunday. Sorry, man. Like John said, dude, so many shows coming up. I'm sorry. I just want to plug my shows real quick, and then we will get out of here. Sunday the 14th is Rizzle's Give Back at Happy Acres. That is a school supply and food drive. $15 at the door. Bring $15 worth of school supplies or food and a receipt, and you can get in for free. There's a bounce house. There's face painting. There's a food truck. Bounce house and face painting are free. Kids 12 and under get in for free. There's live music from 5:30 to 9 p.m. There's a raffle with a bunch of cool prizes. And I think that's it. Come support. Come make the community a better place. Come show that when we put our minds together, we can do something good for the community. The following Friday, the 19th, King of the Mic, I will be competing. We'll see what happens. If I win that round, go to the final round. Poverty's Posterboy will probably be there. I'd probably put money on it. And yeah, it's going to be a good time. And then I have a new show that I want to plug. The 26th, let me grab the flyer. Right here. September 26th. The Pink Elephant is a new venue in Salem, I believe. I'm under the impression. And yeah, it's at 115 Lancaster Drive in Salem. Music at 8 p.m., 9/26. That is a Friday, if I am not mistaken. And it doesn't say how much it is to get in. However, come support. Come support some local music. It'll be fun. That's all we got for September. We got a bunch of guests coming up in September still. And man, it's been a good episode. What a great episode. It blows me away, the stuff that I learn from these conversations with people. I feel like I just learn more and more about myself. I learn more about others. I learn more just about humans and the way that we work, the way that we're wired, and what makes people what makes people tick and what makes people go. And it's a beautiful thing to have the opportunity to have the show and to have people come on here and just open up and be vulnerable and trust me, you know. And it's a great thing. I'm blessed. to have this. Mill Dog says Salem. Yeah, Salem, Oregon. Not what else is there? Salem, what? Massachusetts, Salem. I don't know. The witch trials, the witch hunt. Yeah. So, anyways, thank you guys all for being here. I really appreciate each and every one of you that taken the time to stop by. Share the episode with someone. Share the YouTube channel with someone. You never know who needs to hear something, and we just might be the people to say it. That's it, man. We'll see you guys tomorrow. Same bat channel. Probably a little bit early on the bat time, though. 7 p.m. We will be live. So that's it. Make sure you tell someone you love them. Until next time, we'll see you guys. Appreciate it.
But before I lay me down, let's get this off my chest first. Excerpt of my life, I call it my next verse. Some stress, keep it in perspective. I'm an expert about this Northwest way of life. Hey, it could end worse.